All right, Justin and Dan here back. Dan from Precise Builder by INTEGRO. Now, listen, we told him in the last video how we knew each other. We didn't tell him the full story, though.
That's true.
That
That was pretty cool.
I mean, that was like, what, 10, 12 years ago or something?
It has to be at least, yeah.
But
Time goes crazy fast.
With kids and business, right?
Yep.
So listen, Precise Builder is a tool they build. You can check it out, precisebuilder.com.
Correct.
Am I correct?
Yep.
But we're going to show you behind the scenes. And again, if you're interested, if you're an exterior company owner, construction, roofing, landscape, patio installation, decks, this is a crazy great tool they've built. It's got an app for it, but we're going to take you behind the scenes. And if you follow up with Dan and mention your Launch Kits customer, you'll get special pricing. But
absolutely.
Hey, no further ado, man. Take us under the hood. Show us what this baby can do.
Yeah, awesome. I'm really passionate about this thing because if I can do anything to simplify office processes for construction companies, I'm in, because I know how much you guys love to be out in the field instead of being in the office. And so
what's wrong with our office, Dan? All right, no, I'm just kidding. Go ahead,
not your office.
Right,
You're not a construction guy. Come on. You don't count. All right. So I'm just going to give you a quick run through. At the core of what we care about with Precise Builder is job costing. And so everything that you see is kind of geared towards being able to get accurate prices per job for your company. That way you know exactly what's going on in your construction company. So first of all, here you see a list of opportunities. Essentially, opportunities are leads for us. You can see them in multiple views. So you have a pipeline view that you can see things in. You can click on stuff and go right through it. You also have a map view where you can click on the map and see where all your customers are around the world. So there's just some cool features like that to be able to see the data and be able to interact with it. But really the meat and potatoes of the software is really in the job files, the job folders. And so I'm going to look up this particular barn dominium build for you. And so if you look at this thing, you have several different tabs across the top, and really all the information you need for your job is right there. So you have customer information, you have job information, including the weather at the job address. You have sales information. This is your pipeline status, your opportunity temperature. You have notes that you can do. You can always write notes down here.
And your company helps everybody set all this up too. Just make sure everybody knows this.
That is absolutely right.
So it's huge.
Yep.
Right.
So we come in and we help you make sure you can utilize it. So I'm taking a note here that Justin's really cool.
There we go.
And yeah, absolutely. And so then you have over here on this side, you have activities. You can email directly from it. You can record phone calls, not record as in record the information, but say, hey, I called somebody. But then the estimating is kind of the next step, and estimating is really cool for us. We do kit-based estimating, we call it, which is really taking your materials and your and being able to add your labor. So if you look at this kit, this is a siding installation kit that's covering 200 square. It's going to take 100 hours. The material lists are right here. So obviously you can add materials. You can do all that fun stuff. You can pre-build these kits.
So that thing's really cool. You can say, hey, this kit takes me this long to install. Here is the time, is the material cost. You just add it.
Yep. And our goal is really to get accurate material costing and accurate time costing. What you estimated for the job and what it actually costs.
Because those
two things are so important.
It might be different for company in Kansas versus one in Pennsylvania.
Yep.
Right.
In terms of what absolutely. Need. And so you manage your items and your prices and all that fun stuff.
And you can customize it here too. So if you decide, hey, you know what, we need more nails on this baby. Can I go right into that?
I can do that. I can add a custom item. Let's say I need for this siding kit, I might need some extra. I don't know. I'm going to throw a window in there for some reason. So a window kit or a window trim. We'll do some window trim, and we're going to do it by linear foot. So we're going to add by foot, and I'm going to say that it's going to be $5 a foot. And then I come back over here and I say I need 25 feet of it, and it calculates that out, adds it to my material cost, and away you go.
Nice.
So essentially you can add all these different kits. Kits can be anything from siding installation to site prep to roofing. Yeah, you could do
roofing materials. You
can do asphalt roofing, metal roofing. You can do standing seam. All that stuff you can calculate out with all your trims, and like all that stuff can be pre-created and set up. You can also do like here we have a framed wall section, for example. you can do like interior framing and say, I have, 500 feet of interior walls that I'm framing, and it will calculate out your studs and your floor, like your top plate and your bottom plate and all that stuff. It can calculate it for you based on a 10-foot section. So there's a lot of different things you can do with it, which is really cool.
We create our estimate, and then it can be approved, and then once it's approved, then it goes to job. You can track job costing there. This is my favorite screen.
That's where the fun starts to happen here, is really in the job costing. And this right here, you can say how many hours were estimated for the job and how many were actual. So you start tracking time with the app on your phone, and you can see who's clocking time and all that fun stuff, and it shows that right up here.
Because in that, like Kervin can log in when he gets there on his app. I'm here.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm not, and then it tracks it for that job.
Yeah, awesome. Exactly. And it actually shows you the real cost of Kervin, and the real cost of James, and the real cost of Sean. So all those guys are paid differently, right? They have different wages. Nice. And so it actually gives you their actual cost, not just some average or something like that. So that's cool. Then you have all your materials. As you use your materials on the app, it shows up here, says, hey, I used the caulk, and that cost me $388. That material cost is tracked in your items in Precise Builder. So that's cool. It also connects to QuickBooks Online. And so if you create an expense item in QuickBooks Online, it throws it over here in Precise Builder as long as you have the job name attached to it. So there's just some really cool things there.
That's very cool. Tracks your profit.
Yep.
Spits out your materials.
Yep. So here are these materials. These are all generated from your estimate. So the materials for that job. You can schedule a job. This job happened to be scheduled in January, so you can see all the different things that we had scheduled, pulling permits.
That automatically schedule those things based on your thing? Or
no.
Okay. So
no, you have to
2
manually
days for siding.
Yeah. But the cool thing that we're working on, if we can talk about some fun
things. You got a lot of new stuff coming too.
I get so excited about our new features.
Tell us a few new things.
Well, let me tell you at least about the scheduling, and then I'll tell you some other stuff. We are working on automated scheduling. Now, that's a little freaky, but essentially we're going to be able to project out your schedule and tell you, like when you approve a job, it knows automatically how many hours that job takes, and it knows your schedule.
First, second, third.
Yeah, it knows your schedule. It knows how many people you have. It knows the crews that you have assigned to that thing, and so it can suggest to you a date of when you want to schedule your job.
Love it.
So we're working on some really cool scheduling features that are coming.
And this is important probably for our audience too. Your entire in-house, your development team is in-house.
Yes.
You're here in Pennsylvania.
Yep. Absolutely.
We're not overseas. You're intentionally here. You're staying local. Yeah. You're building local. So this is made in America.
Yep.
Finessed and perfected in America.
Town of Smoketown.
Come on. Smoketown, Pennsylvania.
That's it. Yep.
You can fly into the airport there.
That's
too.
Exactly right. Yep. Fly in and walk to our office.
Let's go.
So invoicing happens with QuickBooks, task lists, punch lists. Daily logs is another cool feature. You can take pictures on the app on your phone, and it does a timestamp where it timestamps, and it also does a weather stamp. You guys, construction guys, know that customers will call you back and they'll say, "Hey, you made a mistake on my roof, and it rained, and blah blah blah," and something was goofy, and you can go back and look exactly what the weather was, whether it was snowing that day or whether it was all that kind of stuff. So you have a lot more data to be able to work. It shows who was working that day, and obviously the pictures of it. So. And then files, of course, photos. You can take photos on your app, and the photos show up. Yeah, they say up here in the files. You can drag and drop files. You can images, any sort of thing. You can quotes that you get from people. It becomes basically your online file storage.
That's awesome.
And so no more paying for Dropbox. Any of that kind of stuff, because you have your online file
storage. To share the Google Drive link access.
Right, exactly. None of that.
So the cool thing for like the business owner or the person managing the back of office, it just all gets a lot simpler. Business owner can see stuff from a glance, 10,000 foot view. The person in-house in your office, because this is probably good for if I have at least an office person, they can learn this pretty easy. You've got the full support.
Yep.
And then, what type of team kind of size is really this working for well, Dan?
Yeah, that's a great question. So we find it works well for companies that have 2 or 3 crews that they're trying to schedule and manage, or maybe they have 3 or 4 projects they're managing simultaneously. It kind of works ideal for that. 1 or 2 salespeople. That's kind of the sweet spot, you might say. But it works really well for small companies that are wanting to scale And then it works a lot for a lot larger companies as well. But that kind of sweet spot is right there in the.
Now, I want to put you on spots. We didn't even talk about this at all before. But what about like house flipper reno people? This is an exterior focused thing. Does it also work for like interior type jobs where I'm flipping this house or no?
Absolutely. It works for any sort of project-based job.
Okay.
Where you're collecting materials and trying to figure out how much they're going to cost you and wanting to keep track of it. Yeah. So flips, renos, anything like that, it works really well for.
Awesome. Yep. Check out precisebuilder.com for pricing. Reach out to Dan for some special pricing for launch kits. Anything else you want to add?
Can I add 2 more things?
2 things.
All right. I'm going to add, because I'm a dreamer, actually. I love to dream. I'm a visionary kind of guy. So I got to tell you about 2 cool things that we're really working on that are coming down the pike. I'd say they're probably 6 to 8 months out from now. But we want to do the thing we call live costing, where we actually connect with local suppliers and ask for their inventory items and actually put them into Precise Builder for you so that you have live item pricing. And so you can basically select, hey, I want prices from ABC Supply and from GR Mitchell and from SWI, and then you can kind of select those, and it will import the items and their prices into it, so that you don't actually ever have to worry about pricing your projects again, because everything is just live updates. You pick the materials and away you go. It's just
dreaming on that
simple.
With you.
Yeah,
all right. What's the other?
Simple. Yeah, the other one is dashboards, live dashboards. So up here on the screen, you see kind of a template of where we're headed with dashboards. So this sales dashboard isn't live right now, but we're working on some of these widgets, basically, where clients can pick the widgets that they want and kind of customize them and that kind of stuff. So you're seeing the data, the live data that you really want to see for running your company, and you can customize it and adjust it based on the role in your company and some stuff like that. So I'm really excited about those 2 things. And we're running a special right now. So you can check that out on our website. We're running a special deal. So check it out and
get some lifetime commitment pricing on there. I saw. And
it's really cool. You pay $12,000 up front, and then you get access to a lifetime of reduced pricing. So it's $299 a month instead of $649 a month for your lifetime. And it works for up to 20 employees. So it's a win-win deal for you.
Thanks for all the work you're putting in. Thanks for the work you're continuing to do. And hopefully this will be helpful to you guys. We'll see you on the flip side.
Sounds good. Thank you.
All right, man.